Welcome to Massage Chair Relief Live, the podcast designed to educate, inform, discuss, and critique the relatively new massage chair industry. Join your host, Dr. Alan Widener, to become a massage chair expert and avoid multiple pain points in your search for the perfect massage chair.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and thank you for joining us today for our massage chair industry update for Wednesday, June 17th, 2026. We appreciate you being here and listening to this broadcast. We recently had our Massage Chair Relief live broadcast with Human Touch. We had Dale Shepard and Eric Beattie who attended the broadcast, and they are from the corporate office of Human Touch out of Long Beach, California. And we chatted in kind of the discussion went in two parts. The first part was just talking about the industry, the trends, where the industry is at today. I think we discussed tariffs as well as some advancements in AI. And you're going to hear more and more about AI as it affects the massage chair industry as time goes on. And then we also talked about the new Supernova 3.0 from Human Touch, which is their latest model. It is a split track with dual mechanisms, and it also has some AI integration. And the remote control, they've kind of departed from the standard remote they've had in the past, which is more of a handheld digital remote, to a tablet. And the tablet is being used kind of to bring the technology up to date for remotes for massage, for their massage chairs, but also to facilitate the use of the AI and some of the other functions that come along with that. So it was a great discussion. If you want to listen to it, the broadcast isn't up yet it is on our YouTube channel, and then that only lasts for a few days, and then we will have a full video recording of it posted again on YouTube, as well as on Facebook and X and on our other social media platforms. But if you'd like to listen to the higher ups at Human Touch talking about the industry as well as the new Supernova 3.0, give it a listen. Watch out for it. Listen, ask us any questions. Feel free to reach out at any time with any questions about the broadcast. We learned some interesting things this week, or actually last week, about Luraco's warranty. And this is something that you need to know if you're considering purchasing a Luraco massage chair. Now, as you know, Luraco is the only U.S. made massage chair. Actually, it is truly the only American made massage chair. There's other companies that say they have the chair is made in America, but they're not. But Luraco is based out of Texas, and they have a 3-year labor, 5 years parts warranty, which is a good warranty. But they introduced us to a caveat that we have not noticed in the warranty in times gone by. And that is that if you are going to move your chair, if you're going to have a Luraco and you want to move it from one address to another address, whether it's local or whether it's across the country, you are going to have to reach out to Luraco, and they're going to have some instructions for you to document the condition of the chair at the pickup location and at the drop-off location, and they will give you instructions on what to do. So that is very, very important to know, because if you do not notify them of the move and have them have it inspected by them prior to the move and after the move, it'll void your warranty. And so that's a big deal. So beware of that. Contact Luraco if you're going to move your chair before you move it, and they will give you instructions on what they need from documentation from you before you move the chair. Anyways, if you do that, your warranty will remain intact. If you do not, the warranty will be void, and that is a little disconcerting if you don't know that. We just found out about it, and I'm not sure when they added that to their warranty, but it is part of their warranty currently. So make sure that you're aware of that if you're considering buying a Luraco chair. Yeah, the Luraco is a good chair, and it's a well-made chair, good chair. But you want to keep that warranty. You never know when you're going to need it. Our lifetime labor warranty will continue to cover you if you've moved the chair after the factory warranty is expired, as our lifetime labor warranty always does and always has for the past 15 years plus years. So, anyways, good to know. And along those lines, we have found out, and this has happened a couple of times with customers who have purchased an Osaki massage chair privately, maybe through Facebook Marketplace or through it from a neighbor or from a friend or at a garage sale. And the warranty is not transferable for any company when you're buying it privately. When you're buying a chair privately from a private owner of a massage chair, that applies to all massage chair companies. And I don't know if what I'm about to tell you applies to other companies. I haven't checked it, but we ran into a couple of situations where people contacted us and said, "Hey, I bought a used chair. It's an Osaki chair, and I have a problem with the chair. And I called Osaki, and they will not sell me parts for the chair." And they were quite concerned about this. They didn't buy the chair from us. They bought it from a private owner. And of course, they obviously were not aware of that from Osaki. And it may be, I think I've heard that also from another one or two companies just offhand or off the cuff. I've not called to verify. But when you buy a used chair, and I've talked about buying used chairs and the risks, it's a great deal if the chair is cheap and it's running and you're buying it and everything seems to be working fine and you haven't paid a lot of money for it. It's a risk sometimes worth taking, especially if it's a financial issue. You don't want to pay for a brand new $8,000 chair, but if that $8,000 chair is on sale for $1,000, well, there's definitely some incentive to consider buying that chair, except that you're not going to get a warranty, and you're not going to, in some instances like these Osaki examples, they will not sell you the parts. Only if you've bought the chair from an authorized dealer will they sell you parts. So the reason this fellow was calling us was to see if we sold parts, and we don't. There are places to find parts online. You can go to ebay.com and type in the brand and make or brand and model of your chair. And there's parts to be found, and if not parts, there's that chair may be for sale for very inexpensively. So you may have access to parts, but yeah, that's an important thing, isn't it? I mean, you got to know that if you're considering buying a used chair. What I would recommend is if you're going to buy a used chair, buy a floor model or a return chair from an authorized distributor. Or going directly or go to a retailer or go to a distributor themselves and say, "Hey, do you have any certified factory open box chairs available?" And we can find that out for you if you want to know that, and give us a call and we can let you know what's available out there. But the prices are not as cheap as they would be on a Facebook Marketplace, but you also get some warranty. Some companies will only give you 60 days warranty, 90 days warranty, maybe a year, but at least it's a warranty that you've got to give you some peace of mind, especially early on after you purchased a chair. So anyways, good to know. Make sure you're aware of that. We're seeing more and more of these new walking, they call them walking footrests, where the leg rest in a massage chair a typical massage chair has a calf well, or a foot and calf well for your legs, and they are side by side, and it's one unit. And when the legs go up, they go up together. When they go down together. Now they come out with what they call the walking foot or walking leg massager. And what this does, and I've talked about this before, where they can move up and down together, but they can also move up and down independent of each other. And the idea there is that the idea is that it's going to help stretch the iliopsoas muscle or the hip flexor muscle. And I've sat in a couple of them. One was the Phantom Rovo by by Body Friend and the Tryon by Osaki, and we have the Tryon in a couple of our showrooms. But it's not I wouldn't consider it a stretch of the iliopsoas muscle or the hip flexor muscle. I consider it more of a mobility feature where it just gets your legs moving independent of each other, and inducing motion into the joint, the hip joint of your pelvic area. So, and it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool, but I don't think it's our experience has been that it's not quite as popular maybe as we thought it was going to be when we first heard about this technology, because I thought the technology was fantastic. Body Friend actually came out with it first, and now we're seeing other chairs coming out with it, and other brands coming out with models that have this feature. And I like the feature myself, but I must say it does not stretch the iliopsoas. I was sorely disappointed because I have a very tight hip flexor. It's from sitting all the time. And most people that do sit all the time have tight hip flexors. When you check to see how flexible you are, most people check their hamstrings. Well, if you sit a lot during the day, or you're bent forward a lot of the time during the course of the day, your hip flexors, I can almost guarantee that they're going to be tight. When I was a chiropractor and we had people with back pain that came in, adjusting his spine is one thing, but then we also look at muscle imbalances to find out what muscles need to be strengthened, what muscles need to be tightened, or not tightened, but stretched, and what muscles, what muscles are working in concert with other muscles of the body. This closed kinematic chain. And we have found that stretching the vast majority of people that have low back pain have a tight hip flexor. A lot of them have tight hamstrings. A lot of them have weak glutes. A lot of them, need this muscle balancing. And I thought the hip flexor being stretched would be a great thing for a massage chair to do. And I was hoping that from the walking leg ottomans, but it's not great for the hip flexor stretch. It's great for mobility of independent hips, or the hips independent of one another, and that's great. And it's still massages. There's still the calf massage and the foot rollers and the foot airbag massage, and maybe even a calf roller massage depending on the model. But and it is kind of cool. If you go to a massage chair store, which I would, and they have it, try it out. It's cool to try out, but it all boils down to what you like, and if it's important enough for you to spend the money for a chair that has that feature. And it's pretty cool. It like the leg goes up quite a bit, and then the other one comes up, and the other one goes down. The other one comes up quite a bit. It's a pretty neat feature. So anyways, I just thought I would tell you about that, because we're seeing more and more of that coming into play. The other feature we're starting to see more of is the 5D. And I talked about this before. We have 2D, 3D, 4D chairs. Now we have 5D chairs. And I don't even want to go into the physics of the three-dimensional model, which is basically what our world is built around. The 4D, as you know, as you may or may not know, is the rhythm and speed changing of the rollers during a program where the rollers are going up and down, side to side, and forward and back. Now the speed can change. That's 4D. Well, now they have 5D, where the rollers during the body scan read the intent. They have sensors that will read the tightness of the muscles that the rollers are massaging. And then that feedback goes back to the computer of the chair, and then it will adjust the rollers to accommodate that change in the tension of the muscles. So you can, and these 5D chairs do this throughout the course of the massage. So there can be a change in the tension of the muscles throughout the massage. I mean, ideally, that's what happens, right? A massage chair is going to relax those muscles and break down scar tissue and increase motion of the segments. Well, when that happens and those muscles are relaxed, the chair will read that and either dig more or less, depending on what the program is designed to do. So that's really the first foray into AI. The health sensors, putting your fingers in the sensors on many of the chairs now to check your pulse and perspiration and that sort of thing. That's really not AI. That's that technology has been around for decades with the medical profession, with getting a pulse with those things they put on your finger when you go in for a physical. They already have that, but now they've integrated it into chairs. But I would not call that AI. I would call that cool, and I would call that a nice bell and whistle, because it does cater a massage to you based on, the stress levels as read by this sensor. But the rollers having an ongoing relationship with your back throughout the course of a massage program, that is different, and that's more AI, because AI is basically creating input and then getting output from the input, from the receiver of the input, and then giving output to the input. I'm screwing this up, but it's bringing feedback to the computer, and the computer then will now output and give you different input into your muscles. So there's this loop that goes on between the muscles of your back and the computer reading it and then adjusting the therapy according to that feedback from the muscles. And that's 5D. So we're starting to see more and more of that as well. So the chairs continue to evolve. I think, we talked about this a little bit in the Massage Chair Relief live broadcast with the Human Touch crew, and Dale, described. He is. I think I'm too much of a boomer to be able to envision what AI is going to be doing besides asking ChatGPT, how to write a talk, or how to design something, or draw a picture, or made a picture. But AI is going to become more and more engaged in or involved in massage chairs and other technologies. And I'm very curious to see how it's going to affect the massage chair industry. And Dale, based on what Human Touch is doing, especially with the 3.0, believes that it's going to be pretty significant over time. And so we'll see what AI has to offer. It's ongoing. It's exciting. It's in the news. It's on the stock market. You're going to see a lot of things about AI in the future, and how it affects massage chairs. We don't know, and other than what we have so far. And I don't know what the brains behind the massage chairs are thinking, and what they're working on with AI. I'd love to be able to have maybe a kind of an eye, a peeping eye into that, to see if there's a way to understand maybe where they're headed with it. But I think most of that comes from the factories in China and Japan, and maybe Laraco's even working on something. I haven't even asked them about AI and the integration of that technology into their chairs. But anyways, that's pretty much all I had this week. I put up a video, a social media video, talking about, if you're going to return a chair, make sure you do these things to protect yourself, because the chairs, you get a picture of the chair if you're returning a chair, put it in a box, and preferably the original box that you got the chair in. Strap it down tight, make sure everything's secure, make sure you've got all the inserts in the box to keep the chair from moving around. We've seen chairs that just get put in the original box, but no padding, no styrofoam or cardboard shims, and this thing rattles around, and we get the chair and open it up, and the sides are scraped against the cardboard, abrasions on the chair, and we see dings on the front of the ottoman. And so prepare the chair well, pack it well, take pictures of how you packed it, take pictures of the packaged and strapped down and sealed box, and then get your chair picked up by your retailer. Of course, as you may or may not know, we do free returns, so we pay for the return shipping once you have it packed up and ready to go. But that chair may come to us damaged, and if it's because of the packing, they're not the massage or the shipping company. Well, I got to be honest, and I hate if anybody's out there owns or runs a shipping company, they haven't been great with regards to dealing with claims of damage during a shipment, and it's tough. And if the chair leaves you, and you have documentation of if it leaves your home in great shape, and it comes to the retailer and it's banged up and beat up, well, then we know it happened during the shipping. But even still, they will say that that was how it was before, or our truck never did that, so it must have been something on the retailer's end. Oh my goodness, it's just an endless thing. I've been in this business for over 21 years, and we have submitted claims, I think, early on, maybe 3 or 4 times. Not one of them was honored. Not one of them was paid, so we had to pay for the damage. And you know what? If that happens in one of your returns, make sure, and whether it's to us or to whoever you buy your chair from, make sure the chair make sure you have it strapped tight, packed well, back in the original box, and take pictures of it so you can document that. This is the condition of the chair when we packaged it, and it was in great shape. And if it's damaged, that's not our fault. And you cannot be held liable for that by the massage chair company. Yeah. So basically, it's either the shipping company or the massage chair company that's going to eat that. So document it. If you don't document it, you may be dinged for it. You may be held accountable for it. So that's something very important to know. It happens. It's not often, but more than I like, because when we get a damaged chair, it's very bothersome to us because we either have to sell it at a deeply discounted price if it's superficial cosmetic stuff, or we have to order parts if there's something broken or bent or cracked. We have to buy parts for it, and that's not cheap. So anyways, just a little tip, little buyer beware tip. Well, anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please feel free to thumbs up, like us on our YouTube channel, and help us spread the word about massage chairs by sharing this or any of our videos with your friends and family through your various and sundry social media platforms. We appreciate you helping us do that. Have a great day, and we will see you on the next Varcast. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Massage Chair Relief Live podcast. Subscribe to this podcast and be notified of each episode. Check out our main website at massagechairrelief.com for much more valuable information on the massage chair industry and marketplace.